I think we past kneeling.
Even talk about him no more where I'm.
So word on the street is that Jay-Z is being painted as the big bad wolf in Hollywood. Rumor has it he's done some shady stuff that's got him on the outs, not just behind bars, but also with the industry folks. What's even more evil of him is that the rappers are allegedly kept secretly in the jails so that he does not get exposed. However, it seems like it was not a bright idea for him. Seems like Hollywood is being labeled as some kind of shady mafia, ready to do whatever it takes for a quick buck. According to Ice Cube, they found a particularly grim way to cash in by throwing millions of young people into prison.
Prisons is booming. Private industry. Own one yourself. You could pick a town, build one, and own one. Private.
Jay-Z, a highly regarded figure in the music industry, has achieved billionaire status through years of successful business ventures and entrepreneurship. Hailing from Brooklyn, the artist, whose real name is Sean Carter, boasts an impressive discography with over 13 solo albums and has clinched 24 Grammy Awards, solidifying his position at the pinnacle of hip-hop.
How far we've come with Will Smith and them, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, winning their first Grammy in '89.
Despite his accomplishments, Jay-Z faced a loss of respect within the music industry due to his association with a well-known informant. The decision to appoint this individual as the CEO of his entertainment company, Roc Nation, not only affected Jay-Z's street credibility, but also raised questions about his integrity among peers in the business. The individual in question is Desiree Perez, a prominent figure with a controversial past. Before entering the music industry, Perez was involved in the D trade. In 1994, she faced arrest in Miami for the possession of 35 keys of Griselda Blanco's C. To avoid imprisonment, Perez made a deal with the DEA, agreeing to wear a wire and becoming a federal informant. This choice has led to a reevaluation of Jay-Z's standing in the eyes of many within the music community.
Making money off of old substance? Now how are you going to grow?
No, I agree with that, but
we're still talking about Jay. I haven't even seen Jay but 2 times in 15 years.
But this is my thing, though, that you did add something new to the conversation when you said you brought up the stuff about Desiree.
Perez played a significant role in assisting the DEA in apprehending numerous Hispanic Americans involved in the Miami D wars. She cooperated with law enforcement, providing information that led to the prosecution of low-level associates of figures such as Griselda Blanco, Fabio Ochoa, and even Pablo Escobar. This collaboration with the police is widely frowned upon in hip-hop culture, where anti-authoritarian sentiments are often expressed through music. Given the prevalence of tracks like F the Police and Ice-T's Cop Killer in hip-hop, Jay-Z's decision to bring Desiree into his inner circle surprised many. In 2015, during an appearance on The Breakfast Club, Jay-Z's former Rockefeller counterpart Damon Dash expressed his disapproval, stating, "Once AN has certain friends, we don't even talk about him anymore where I'm from." Dash also indicated that it would be unlikely for him to engage in future business with Jay-Z due to his association with Perez. It's worth noting that Desiree Perez was the wife of Juan Perez, a Harlem native and a close friend of Jay-Z, whom he met in the 1990s. The two went into business together, co-owning a series of sports bars, including the iconic 40 Club. Desiree acted as a promoter for these various clubs. With the help of Juan, she rose from a part-time nightclub manager to a record company executive, and in 2008, Jay-Z made her chief operating officer of Roc Nation. In 2019, she was promoted to CEO. However, while talking about her experience, she stated, "Nothing ever felt right. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it belonged. And when I heard Linda speak, it just seemed like the perfect place that she was describing. And it's a public space and it lends itself to everyone." Although ex-President Donald Trump pardoned Perez of her crimes in 2021 and wiped her criminal record, Jay-Z lost the respect of hip-hop by hiring, entertaining, and promoting a well-known snitch who put people behind bars. This is what Damon Dash said about Desiree.
Told you I don't want to talk about it, so I don't want to talk about it no more. You understand? See, y'all don't understand what's out there. People go to jail. People get for this kind of stuff. I don't play these.
According to the New York Daily News in March 2015, after Perez's arrest in 1994 for possession of 35 kilos of C, she entered into an agreement with federal authorities. In this deal, she agreed to wear hidden wires to record her meetings with significant CT. It was alleged that Perez became a government informer, assisting the DEA in dismantling major D deals in locations such as Puerto Rico and Colombia. In May 2014, the New York Daily News reported, based on federal court transcripts it obtained, that Perez had indeed worn wires during meetings with major CT. In 1994, the Perez family was rounded up in a major D investigation in South Florida. That year, 19 people, including Desiree Perez, were indicted in a federal D investigation.
She got arrested in 1994 for possession of 35 kilos of coke.
Oh, that's a woman.
That's a woman. Struck a deal with the feds, wore a hidden wire to record meetings with major...
According to a White House statement, Desiree Perez was granted a full pardon for her involvement in a conspiracy to distribute narcotics. The White House statement acknowledged Perez's accountability for her past actions and highlighted her positive transformation since the conviction. It stated, "Since her conviction, Ms. Perez has taken full accountability for her actions and has turned her life around. She has been gainfully employed and has been an advocate for criminal justice reform in her community." In a statement provided to Billboard, Perez expressed gratitude for receiving the pardon and emphasized her commitment to personal growth and accountability. She stated, "I'm grateful to have received a pardon and to have formally closed that chapter of my life in the eyes of the law. I have taken full accountability for my mistakes from 25 years ago, but I also take tremendous pride in my personal growth, perseverance, and accomplishments since then. This pardon reinforces my lifelong commitment to advocate for criminal justice reform and social justice initiatives." So, folks are raising eyebrows at Jay-Z for hiring this dude with a criminal record. And now his industry rivals are piling on, talking even more about the guy's shady past since he's already in hot water. It sure doesn't seem like one when you realize the whole entertainment industry is just essentially pushing people into a life of crime. Beanie Sigel and Jay-Z, former Rockefeller artists, have had a complex relationship since the beginning. Even before Beanie's 2009 diss track aimed at Jay, their falling out was apparent, shedding light on the infamous Rockefeller split. In an episode of Drink Champs, Sigel opened up about how he felt when Jay-Z vouched for him in court during his 2003 federal weapon charges and attempted case. While Jay-Z supported Sigel, he also made it clear to the court that he was not responsible for him. Sigel expressed his deep disappointment, saying, "I never felt crushed like that before in my life. It messed me up. It took away a lot of the things I thought we had." That's big, bro. I believe at that time, Jay-Z thought I was unpredictable, that I was acting out of control. I know I was out of line. I was uncontrollable. Sigel has been in and out of jail for various charges, including firearms charges. The rapper allegedly fired approximately 6 shots from a silver 9mm at a man in front of Philadelphia's Ponytail Go-Go bar. Sigel spent a year in federal prison on a gun charge, then was acquitted of attempted in September 2005, a month after being released. Moreover, one more person who claimed to never beef with Jay-Z also seemed to join the chat. Meek Mill also left the Rock Nation. The move is presumably a complicated one, as Mill's connections with the company run deep. He has a joint venture deal with the company for his Dream Chasers label, and more prominently, the Reform Alliance, a nonprofit organization he launched with Jay-Z to combat unjust sentencing laws in the United States. The latter was formed after Mill was sentenced to 2 to 4 years in prison for probation violation in a controversial ruling that was later overturned by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. Jay-Z wrote an op-ed in the New York Times in which he said, "What's happening to Meek Mill is just one example of how our criminal justice system entraps and harasses hundreds of thousands of Black people every day." Over the past decade plus, the rapper has spent an estimated $30 million on legal defense, as he's gone in and out of Philadelphia courtrooms, jails, and now prison for a variety of charges and petty parole violations that he has disputed. So it is not just Desiree, but a never-ending list of artists who have been blacklisting Jay-Z. The conspiracy theory is that Hollywood and the private prison business are in cahoots, working together to keep those cells packed. Allegedly, both industries reap the rewards of the free labor provided by millions of inmates. It's a grim picture where even kids and innocent teens seem to be caught in the exploitative grip of Hollywood.
Gangster judges were selling children into a prison camp. Where were the protectors of the kids at that time?
Ice Cube isn't letting up on his chilling claims that Hollywood operates like a mafia profiting from imprisoning people. Strangely enough, there seems to be some evidence backing up this eerie notion. Whether it's Hollywood CEOs or record label bigwigs, those in power within the industry allegedly have a sinister desire to see more people behind bars. The why? Well, it's supposedly as simple and sinister as you'd imagine.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Ice Cube appeared on Bill Maher's Club Random podcast and made some bone-chilling revelations. He says Hollywood executives want people to be locked up, and they help create a whole culture of violence and thug life to make this possible. Who benefits and profits off our bickering and division? I don't know their names, but if you follow the money, you go high enough, you start to see literally the same people who own the record labels own the prisons. However, now it looks like the musician prisoners are uniting to speak out against the industry's puppeteers, and Jay-Z seems to be caught in the crossfire. It appears that he's facing some heat from fellow artists who are coming together to challenge the controllers of the music industry. It was seen when R. Kelly named Jay-Z was involved in some real wrong actions. There are claims circulating about the fairness of R. Kelly's trial, suggesting that some of his alleged victims were coerced into providing false testimony against him. A leaked audio recording has surfaced, purportedly featuring an individual who is identified as a federal informant admitting to influencing a witness associated with R. Kelly's case. This has raised concerns about the integrity of the court proceedings and the possibility of undue influence on the testimonies presented against R. Kelly.
I got the actual people on the phone.
In his trial, R. Kelly was found guilty on all 9 counts of a superseding indictment, which included charges of racketeering related to criminal activities such as exploitation of young people, forced labor, and violations of the Mann Act. Reports are circulating that if R. Kelly's legal case is deemed legally unfair, it could have significant implications for Jay-Z. There is speculation that R. Kelly is gearing up for a new appeal, and he has enlisted the services of Bill Cosby's attorney with the strategic aim of overturning his conviction. What adds intrigue to this development is the claim from R. Kelly's legal team that 2 jurors in his case had watched the documentary series Surviving R. Kelly, funded by Jay-Z. They argue that these jurors should have been excluded due to potential bias. Adding a twist to the narrative is the fact that R. Kelly had previously won a substantial $70 million lawsuit against Jay-Z.
He put his money behind a project that cost this man his life in prison. Well, it could, because I got faith that R. Kelly gonna get out.
It's not unusual for insiders or close associates to provide insights into the less visible aspects of the music industry. In this instance, a close associate alleges that R. Kelly has been vocal about the hidden side of the music industry, involving parties, unconventional rituals, and disturbing activities conducted in secrecy. The associate contends that despite R. Kelly's controversial image, he positioned himself as someone who opposed these perceived dark forces, implying potential associations with Jay-Z in this context.
I admire Jay-Z to that level, so for me to, be close to R. Kelly and find out what type of person he really...
The allegations surrounding R. Kelly, which include accusations involving a 17-year-old male, have sparked considerable controversy and legal proceedings. Some individuals argue that R. Kelly is innocent, proposing that these allegations might be part of a broader scheme aimed at controlling artists. There are also claims about unsettling practices in the music industry, where artists could be drawn into parties, unknowingly and subsequently exploited. There's an intriguing narrative circulating, one in which R. Kelly posits Jay-Z as something akin to a rat. The plot thickens as it's not merely an individual accusation. Rather, it extends to implicate the notorious Illuminati, suggesting their influential role in steering the music industry. However, the twist lies in the claim that the Illuminati doesn't directly manipulate the artists, but rather exerts control over the decision-makers in their orbits. Jay-Z, a prominent figure in the industry, is purportedly grappling with the ramifications of this potent group. Sources allude to compelling connections and allegations involving Jay-Z and other luminaries in Hollywood.
I want to say Jay-Z with the Illuminati, because I don't know if he that powerful yet, but I believe what Kel's told me as far as like Jay-Z with them. You know what I'm saying? And
now, an even mind-boggling detail is that apparently R. Kelly has accused Jay-Z of P behavior as well. Kelly's friend Ronnie Bo mentions why he took R. Kelly's side. He voices his concerns about only R. Kelly getting the burnt of his actions, and not Jay-Z.
Jay-Z got these young artists selling their souls. And hearing that and hearing the shit that R. Kelly was saying about Jay-Z is like, damn, is that shit true?
Jay-Z and Kelly are co-stars who have even come out with 2 albums together. Back in 2004, the pair's Best of Both Worlds tour, named after their 2002 collaborative album, was cut short after an incident during the first of 3 shows at NYC's Madison Square Garden.
Everybody know that Jay-Z and R. Kelly was working together at one time. with the Best of Both Worlds tour, and I think they did 2 albums together.
R. Kelly reportedly declined to continue a tour due to alleged death threats, which led to a significant fallout with another artist involved, likely Jay-Z. This conflict escalated to the point where R. Kelly ended up in the hospital. Following this incident, the relationship between Jay-Z and R. Kelly soured, and they were no longer seen together. During this tumultuous period, Ronnie claims that he was the only person R. Kelly confided in, even as others were curious about the details surrounding the rift between Jay-Z and R. Kelly.
I was one of the ones that was more so close to him, so, he opened up to other people, but he opened up to me about that shit. And
when probed about his potential decision to expose Jay-Z to law enforcement, R. Kelly pointed to Jay-Z's significant influence within the industry. According to Kelly, Jay-Z possessed enough clout with authorities to potentially escape legal repercussions for a crime, a privilege Kelly believed he lacked. This perceived influence is thought to be linked to Jay-Z's ownership of Roc Nation, a widely recognized and influential entertainment company. The ability to control media and maintain a robust presence on social platforms is considered a potent means of wielding authority and influence in the entertainment realm. Kelly discussed these considerations with Ronnie, emphasizing his apprehensions regarding the disparities in their respective situations.
The most dangerous weapon that the United States have, and he said, is because they can make the innocent.
Ronnie hints at the possibility of Jay-Z orchestrating a revenge plot against R. Kelly, implying that Jay-Z's considerable power and influence might enable such actions. With ownership of a media outlet, Jay-Z could wield the ability to manipulate public perception, distorting the truth and shaping the narrative in his favor. This notion raises concerns about the potential misuse of influence to settle personal vendettas within the complex dynamics of the entertainment industry.
You could get so upset that you could fuck up my whole reputation, my image. You could make me look like the worst person on the planet because you control the media.
Continuing his narrative, Ronnie suggests that Jay-Z's accusation of R. Kelly being a predator was a relatively straightforward maneuver given Jay-Z's substantial influence. Ronnie implies that the media effortlessly embraced and promoted this narrative, leveraging Jay-Z's sway. In contrast, R. Kelly's lack of comparable control over the narrative played a role in hastening his conviction, even if the outcome was just in this particular case.
Everybody believed this shit that they see in the media. So if the media starts saying R. Kelly a pedophile, you know what I'm saying?
On the flip side, Jay-Z, who also faced similar accusations, has managed to evade legal charges, underscoring the considerable influence and connections that can sway the justice system. Turning our attention to the controversy surrounding the documentary Surviving R. Kelly, the artist himself argues that the film relied on orchestrated narratives and payments to individuals playing specific roles, suggesting a lack of substantial, concrete evidence. This raises questions about the documentary's credibility. Nevertheless, Jay-Z's enduring success seems to be fueled by his deep pockets, combined with substantial support from Hollywood elites. However, there may be a sense of apprehension for him now, as R. Kelly, who could potentially be released from prison, might seek revenge against Jay-Z. Initially, Jay-Z and R. Kelly, both prominent figures in the music industry, joined forces for collaborations that gained immense popularity. What started as occasional tracks evolved into a full album and a world tour titled The Best of Both Worlds, anticipated to be the album of the year or even the decade. However, the collaboration took a dark turn with R. Kelly's controversies. In 2002, a video surfaced, lasting 27 minutes, depicting R. Kelly engaging in inappropriate activities with a minor. In response, Kelly denied the allegations, presenting a sob story about fabricated stories aimed at destroying him. Despite the evidence, he adamantly refused to admit wrongdoing. "It's very difficult for me, but, I'm innocent. It's crap, and that's how we're going to treat it. All I know is this. I have a few people in the past that I've fired. People that I've thought were my friends that's not my friends. Ever since then, it's been threats on what they're going to do to me if I don't pay them this. They'll put a story out, and when I refuse to pay them, and now here come this story." Some people from the industry were convinced that Jay-Z knew all about Kelly's disgusting actions, and he let them get away with it. Rapper Nas believes it was impossible for Jay-Z to not know. "You can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come into the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. You gonna tell me he didn't see no 14-year-old girl come into the vicinity?" Jay-Z, however, is a smart man, and he knows if there's one thing you never do, it is to jump into another man's mess. He refused to speak on the incident or pass any judgments of his own. Recognizing Recognizing that his perceived well-wisher and friend, Jay-Z, prioritized avoiding controversy over supporting him, R. Kelly reluctantly set aside personal feelings to collaborate on the Best of Both Worlds tour. However, the tour did not live up to its name, as the downfall began swiftly. Right from the outset, Kelly harbored skepticism towards Jay-Z and questioned his true intentions throughout the tour. The tour went on still, and everyone thought the two sorted out their issues, but the real incident was yet to happen.
R. Kelly cuts the Best of Both Worlds show short. It's later reported that R. Kelly actually assaulted the lighting technician on the show, though no charges were pressed.
The unfolding events were truly surprising, catching everyone off guard as R. Kelly engaged in a fistfight at a time when all eyes were already on him. As mentioned earlier, R. Kelly's tendency for chaos seemed inevitable. A more astute artist might have chosen to act differently, ensuring no further controversies for the remainder of the tour. Unfortunately, Kelly did not think that far ahead and persisted in his disruptive behavior. The tour ultimately came to an abrupt end following a shocking incident during the first of 3 shows at NYC's Madison Square Garden.
Prior to the show, R. Kelly gets a phone call. Now, he never explicitly states what's on this call, but he suggests that somebody is threatening his life.
R. Kelly's paranoia reached new heights when he believed someone was attempting to kill him, going so far as to claim that he had received death threats prior to the concert. His heightened state of alertness and deteriorating mental state were evident throughout the event. Given Kelly's controversial history, the notion of legitimate death threats did not seem far-fetched. However, this situation escalated further as attendees in the stadium became fearful, thinking there was a potential gunman. Jay-Z, undoubtedly frustrated with the chaos and potential danger, reached a breaking point at this juncture.
Everybody, you okay? You safe? There's no guns in the building. I really tried.
Jay-Z's frustration had been building as he perceived R. Kelly's disrespectful and spoiled behavior as detrimental to both the tour and his own reputation. Meanwhile, R. Kelly remained convinced that Jay-Z harbored ill intentions towards him. Despite severe allegations against Kelly, Jay-Z had initially given him a chance, perhaps driven more by business considerations than brotherly love. However, the breaking point came on that day, leading to a complete explosion of the partnership.
3 sold-out shows in the Garden, 5 New York shows. I mean, that's just
There's no way possible that this is going to be fixed. And
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Jay-Z was convinced that either Kelly was losing his mind or being disrespectful on purpose, because after such strict security, bringing a gun into the stadium was impossible. But that's where it gets interesting. Kelly himself had brought guns inside the stadium. Rapper Cassidy admitted that he had given guns to Kelly and his goons himself. That too for Kelly's feud with Jay-Z. They was going through something. I ain't know it was with Jay-Z. I ain't know who it was with, but I know I wanted to get out there and perform. That's all I was focused on. This wasn't the end of the drama either. Kelly's team was busy convincing Kelly to get back on stage and fix the mess. But Kelly wasn't done ruining things yet. He decided to get into another fistfight, this time with Jay-Z's close friend Tyron Ty Smith. Kelly isn't much of a fighter, so of course Smith ended up sending him to the hospital. Foolery. He thought that insecure Kelly was jealous of the crowd's love for Jay, but Kelly told an entirely different version of the story. He said he panicked and left the stage, but when he calmed down and tried to return, he was pepper sprayed by Ty Smith. All this drama was pretty much the end of Best of Both Worlds tour for Kelly. Even though it was clearly Kelly's fault that the tour fell apart, he still came out and acted like a victim. The fans deserve better than this. I'd like the show to go on. It's really disappointing that Jay-Z and the promoter don't. Ronnie B.O. also said that Jay-Z was the one who got the whole documentary surviving R. Kelly up and running. Jay-Z may have provided the funds for Dreamhampton to make the documentary about Kelly's accusations. Looks like Jay-Z really wanted Kelly's career to be over. If you don't believe Ronnie's word on Jay-Z's role in the case, maybe this will do the trick. This case wasn't the first time that Jay-Z had helped Dream financially. In fact, the rapper wired tens of thousands of dollars in minutes after she asked him to help with expenses protesters incurred while demonstrating against police brutality. If Jay-Z was ready to give tens of thousands of dollars to her, it's not shocking that he also decided to fund the documentary she was making. Jay is so open-hearted with Hampton because the two happen to have a long history.
Through Dreamhampton. You know, Dreamhampton was his ex-girlfriend. Dreamhampton wrote his book, The Decoded Book. You know, he funded her protests in Ferguson.
It appears that Jay-Z seized an opportunity by financing Dreamhampton's documentary, not only providing her career with a significant boost, but also contributing to the downfall of R. Kelly. The motivations behind Jay-Z's desire to end Kelly's career seem multifaceted, with a prominent factor being a lawsuit that resulted in Jay-Z's reputation being tarnished and a substantial financial loss of $70 million. The documentary, in this context, may have served as a strategic move to address personal and financial concerns, while also impacting R. Kelly's standing in the industry.
It was a little deeper than the best of both worlds situation. You know, R. Kelly sued him for like $70 million after.
R. Kelly's legal troubles not only disrupted Jay-Z's tour, but also led to a costly lawsuit that ultimately favored Kelly, causing Jay-Z to lose millions. However, the repercussions extended beyond the financial aspect. Jay-Z was aware that if Kelly emerged unscathed from the trial, he might eventually disclose certain aspects of Jay-Z's own past. Damon Dash, Aaliyah's boyfriend at the time of her tragic death, exposed Jay-Z's romantic interest in Aaliyah, even when she was underage. "I had no idea that Jay was pursuing her, but it just unfolded that way. He was making attempts and so was I. Everyone was vying for her attention. He was persistent." Damon disclosed that Aaliyah either ended her relationship with Jay-Z or perhaps relegated him to the friend zone. This sheds light on Jay-Z's long-standing animosity towards R. Kelly, who not only married Aaliyah but also succeeded in obtaining the affections of the woman Jay-Z was interested in. Aaliyah wasn't the only girl Jay-Z had been involved with. There are rumors that he had a relationship with Foxy Brown too when she was a minor. Wendy Williams Talked revealed this information and said, "Jay-Z and Foxy Brown were allegedly a romantical thing." All right, I'll say alleged, but we know. Yeah, she hit it before Beyonce, allegedly. Jay-Z has seen how the world will stand up to destroy you over such sort of accusations, thanks to the Kelly trial, and he certainly doesn't want that for himself. That's why he funded the documentary and did that at such a strategic time that the jurors could watch it and form their opinions on the matter beforehand. People are pointing out how Jay-Z's decision to bring down Kelly is weird considering how he himself has committed the same crimes. One person pointed out, Beyonce was 19 when they started dating, and Jay-Z never dated Aaliyah. They were friends when she was around 21. She dated Jay-Z's friend Dame Dash. Foxy was 18 when the song with Jay-Z came out, and she has said many times this BS rumor is not true. Another one added, Kells was truly trapped in the closet and tried telling the world, but unfortunately he also knows if he says too much in regards to the elites, then he's as good as dead. A lot of artists have been trying to do the same, but we fail to read between the lines, and we just watch them self-destruct, and it's sad. Jay-Z's choice to collaborate with Kelly on an album may be considered one of the most regrettable decisions of his career, and its repercussions continue to linger. Now, he finds himself grappling with the persistent fear of potential retaliation from Kelly, and seemingly due to this one incident, every other rapper in the jail who has sympathy with Kelly is speaking against Jay-Z. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.